Hi everyone, welcome to Web Summit and to another conversation powered by Portugal Tech and by the European Investment Fund. With me I have Alessandro Izzo, who is responsible for growth capital and equity at the European Investment Bank. Thank you for joining us. And
Thanks for having me, Miguel.
the first question I had is how do the European Investment Bank and the European Investment Fund kind of work together in supporting businesses?
Well, Miguel, the question is very pertinent because the EIB group at large has a number of instruments to support the ecosystem of innovative companies. The EIF, of course, with a great presence in the venture capital funds and markets. The EIB with its tradition of supporting directly companies, investee companies, with fundamentally two products. We support early stage companies through a specific fund, which is called the European Innovation Council Fund, where DIB acts as investment manager to the fund. And this is to deploy, as I said, early stage equity to seed Series A type of companies. And then we have a flagship product, which is the Venture Debt program of the EIB, deployed with the support of the European Commission. And this is Venture Debt. So debt instrument, patient capital to investee companies that need to grow and that do not only need equity capital to meet their funding needs. These two products complement the venture capital fund deployed by the IF for two reasons. The EAC fund is not a lead investor, so any time that they deploy, early stage equity, they look for a round led by a VC, so a market player, and they provide extra firepower. So it's an add-on equity to a market-led VC round. Venture debt, as I said, is a different instrument. It is creating a capital stack in the company which is non-dilutive, and it's leveraging the equity. So this is how the bank is complementing with direct investment the activity of the EIF.
Yesterday we had here several people from the EIF and they talked about certain industries where they were heavily investing. We talked about AI, climate, energy. What kind of technologies and industries is the IEB looking for, and what potential do you see in them?
Well, the bank, not surprisingly, is policy aligned with what also the IF is trying to promote through their funds network. And I would say that there are three main verticals. I would say biotech and medtech.
Yeah.
I would say climate tech and deep tech. More significantly, AI, materials, softwares, new space. So these are the three verticals on which we are very much involved. And from a risk perspective, we try to go for companies that are going through, then they need public money support because they have technology and business proposition which are particularly riskier, and that only private funds would struggle to support to the depth and the length required.
One common topic here at Web Summit and throughout 2023 has been like this: the access to capital and comparisons on what was happening in the US and what is happening in Europe. What's your view on that, and how the IEB can help companies to scale their businesses here without the need of moving to the US?
Well, I think, Miguel, this is a very pertinent topic, not so much and only for the IB group at large, but from a, I would say, wider European policy viewpoint. And I think we've realized that for a number of reasons, for supply chain, sovereignty and independence, for support of economic growth and development in Europe, we need to be very savvy about maintaining our tech champions in Europe. There is an initiative which has been rolled out by the IF to support European champions through their funds network. This is complemented by the bank with, again, some extra firepower to be deployed directly with investee companies as an add-on to the money coming from the ETCI structure. There is a particular program within the IB to provide scale-up debt. So debt which is provided yet to companies that are not fully bankable from a commercial bank viewpoint, but they are closer to profitability and exit because they have shown a story of growth in revenues and equity raise, and we have a product which is the first time debt that is bridging this company to IPO. So that's the second element. But I would say, the equation is a bit more complex. It requires also intervention in advisory, in intervention in design capital markets, preparing market for exit. So this is more, I would say, the regulatory and policy angle that we are providing input to at Commission and member state level to create, the sort of like the background and the framework that will facilitate and create the business market for European tech champions, growing champions to remain in Europe.
Alessandro, thank you for giving us a little bit of your time, and thanks for being here with me. Please stick with us. We'll have more conversations with startups and players from the ecosystems in the coming hours. So follow the Next Big Idea page to get notified once that happens. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Miguel. Thanks, everybody.